Am I getting on here the beginning of the vlog to show up with my bonnet? Quite possibly. I just wanted to get on here and say welcome. Welcome to my channel Loc'D, where I talk about books and I do vlogs and I do readathons. I do all these things. And I try to keep it like lifestyle adjacent too, because you know, your girl loves to cook and do all those things. However, that is not happening in this vlog. We are just celebrating my mom, my beautiful mother. Her name was Sheila. Her birthday was March 27th. This is going into my second year, not a full 2 years, not even close, of her passing. She passed away December 19th, 2023. I don't have a lot of physical things from her. I don't have a lot from her. I just say that without going in too deep on the internet. I miss my mom, even though I'm experiencing complicated grief. I miss her. I miss her all the time. I wish things could have been better. I think cancer sucks. But you know, here we are. So I've decided that, you know, since I'm online and I use different avenues to process my grief, to make this vlog. I have this vlog about me reading my mother's favorite genre of reading, which is romance. So in this vlog, I think I have 3 books that I talked about. I was going to read some more, but one of the books really not put me in a reading slump, but wanted me to pause on romance because the content of it was heavy. But I'll talk to y'all about that. But yeah, I'm excited for you guys to come along as I talk about the books that I've read. I think romance is a beautiful genre. I'm starting to like it. I'm still not at a point where I will pull it other than to read something or to I don't know, to immerse myself in a romance. I am enjoying the content so far. Get ready to watch this vlog as I talk about the things that I've read, and I'll be reading like my mom. I wanted to read like my mom for a week, and it ended up being the whole month of March, even though it took me a long time to read those 3 books. I read those 3 books. I will say also to people who are readers and you see booktubers who are reading 50,000 books or whatever, it's okay to read slowly too. No one's in a competition, you know? There's a difference from being a creator and being a person who just engaged in the book community. We want to read more books. Typically, when you are a book creator, there's different things that come with it, different themes you want. Like when you're creating content and content that you want to be monetized, there comes an air of you need to read more. So don't compare yourself to anybody is what I'm saying all that stuff. Don't compare yourself to anybody. But let's get into the video. All right, y'all. It's time to talk about the art of scandal. So I'm following the main character. I don't know her name, but we all know I don't be knowing folks' names. But I just feel like I just need a moment to yap about a couple things. Just, you know, yappy yap, you know. And, you know, as Jessica calls herself, Yappica, I'm going to call myself Yappa Bree because I need to yap. It's not that I feel some type of way about this book. It's just that I feel for the character as if I think you could have went further. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, there's a part in the story where the main character is finding out something about their partner. And, you know, she's trying her best to keep it together. He's saying things to her. She's contacting people, trying to figure out, like, what she needs to do. And then we learn that a prenup was not signed. Let me tell you this. A man is gonna man. I don't know what's going on in the delusional world that I have been finding female characters that I read. This is from the Harlem Rhapsody all the way down to the Art of Scandal. And if you see me looking, it's because I'm trying to make sure I'm saying the title right, and I'm currently on sprints with my Patreons. But it's just like, I'm over here trying to be like, why did you ever think that it was okay for you to marry a wealthy man and not sign a prenup? And I say that because you never know when Mad Day is going to come. You never know when someone's going to kick you out. And the thing about it is that I don't want, if I ever got married, which that's a story for another time. But if I ever got married, we are both signing that contract. We are signing that prenuptial agreement. And the reason why is because I don't know
what circumstances life is going to throw at us that may change us. You might thought you married cool, chill, around the way, breathe with a fatty on my dad. And then you will find out that this just crazy because you did something, or we did something, or something happened that changed my personality. And I started acting like everything's above me now. And now I'm evil. And now I'm your worst nightmare. Same thing could be said to my partner. So I think it's important to sign the prenuptial when you're all happy, you're all in love. I want to kiss you, you kiss me, moi, moi, moi. But to not think about your future and to think that you're going to always be in bliss. I don't care how much you love this person. I don't care if they had your back like faux flats. Do you hear me? I don't care if y'all were in the sandbox together eating sand at the same damn time. Protect yourself and protect them, because you just never, you guys, I've seen so many bad days, like people bad days, or when mad day happen and they act a complete fool. I follow this lady on TikTok who's a divorce lawyer. Her and her husband are divorce lawyers, and they have their own practice, which I think, hey, sister, you living on. You do what you need to do. But for me, I would have completely lost my mind. I would have been like, having a joint business thing, like money, really, I'm nervous about those type of things. I don't think I would have done it, but I digress. The divorce, you know, she has a divorce platform on TikTok where she talks about how you better get that prenup, and she talks about stories and past clients she's had where shit went completely south. There was one man, I remember, this woman's mother was dying. The day she died, he said, I want a divorce. And that is when I would have been on 60 Seconds. They would have been saying that lady snapped, because I would have cut that man. And I'm saying that lightly. I would have had to fight that man. I would have had to either fight that man, or this is how, and this is so crazy of me to be like thinking of this, and I'm yapping. I think if I was in a relationship with the man, I'm in a relationship with this man, we are living life, I'm talking gyrating and stuff, and this man tells me that on the day my mama died, either I'm fighting him, like fighting him, he's gonna get all the anger that I have possessed and suppressed for years, or I'm waiting till that man goes, I don't know, to work, and the U-Haul will be there, the movers will be there, I will be gone, he will be blocked, he will be served papers from me, you will never speak to me. I'm telling you, if he's talking about I need mediation, well, babes, we ain't gonna have it, because you're gonna have to talk through my lawyer until I'm able to come with the terms of how dirty. Like, you guys, there are so many stories. And in this story, let me see if it's on the back so I can tell y'all. So on her birthday, this woman, what's her name? Rachel. Rachel received a text from her husband that she know was meant for somebody else. The way this man responded when she found out that the text that was steamy in nature was meant for someone else, I would have lost it then. I need y'all to give me book recommendations of women who've been scorned and got their lick back, because I've been reading a lot of books of women who have been scorned and they have took the high road. No ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. You play with me in my face like that, I'm going to hell. I am going to the earth core, the hottest point, the hottest layer. I'm going to hell. Because what do you mean? On your 40th birthday, I'm trying to celebrate you. I probably do this party for you. I'm trying to celebrate you, make sure you have a great time. And you out here texting another steamy, and then I get the text that was meant for another. Don't piss me off. Though I just feel like enough of us ain't angry. Enough of us aren't trying to take folks out. And I'm not saying you gotta take people out physically, but listen, enough of us ain't leaving. And I understand of why people wouldn't leave, because the main character, Rachel, have several reasons and things that's tied to him that makes leaving him quite difficult, right? Of what I know so far of being How far am I into this book? I can't be 58%. Anyway, it's telling me I'm 58% in. But my thing is this. Leave. Because they got you fucked up. This man played in her face. I'm just telling y'all, I would be in jail. Immediately. Play with me if you want. I don't know why I get so passionate and so upset when a woman is scorned. I think I know why. And I've seen it. I've seen it so many times, which is why my block game is strong. Okay? I will seriously stop talking to you. You say some weird shit. Sometimes I give people a chance. Sometimes. But that is very far few in between. You know what I'm saying? Let me chill out so I can finish listening to this book. And then I'll let you know any further thoughts. And then when it's time to start real, I'll let you know that too. I had to come on here and tell y'all that while listening to The Art of Scandal, I decided to make myself a nice bevy because I'm going on a road trip. And I made myself a beverage, and the lid of the beverage slid perfectly down to the bottom, so I had to fish it out. You know how I feel about germs, my own germs even. So I said, okay, you can move past that, Brie. Then, because I'm so big and my kitchen is so small, I move in big ways, right? Because I'm 6'1". I accidentally hit the cup with my hand, spilled out all of the drinks that you saw me make in a previous vlog. The whole thing was in the drain. And it was the last of every piece to make the drink. It was my final drink. You know how they say the final countdown? Let me show you the proof. This is the ice, the remnants of what could have been a great drink. So since I'm leaving, I had the forethought to, let me just soak some tea bags in the water for a day, and hopefully it'll be strong enough for me to make the tea so I'll have tea ready when I come back. Will I have the syrups? No, I will not have the syrups, but I can make that. But just that, look at it over there, empty. Okay. Don't be alarmed to the ashiness and or shit in the back. So let's kind of talk about what I've read. We were talking about Kennedy Ryan's book that I read called Long Shot. That was a very hard read. I wish that I would have read it. I did a whole TikTok about it. Alright, y'all, so I have been living my best romance life. And then I know people, Kennedy Ryan. I have a book by her, but I haven't started it because I don't have the physical book with me. I've been traveling. So I said, let me holler at another one of her books. Meaning I'm not going to read a synopsis, nothing. I'm going to go into it. I said, he looks kind of handsome. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that can happen? This is why I think I need to quit romance for a while. I know I just started. I know I'm 2 weeks in, but I think it's time either for retirement or something because, listen, there's a girl in this book. Her name is Iris. She's beautiful. She's from New Orleans. She's from the Night Wall, to be specific. I'm thinking I'm going to vibe. I'm New Orleans. You New Orleans. I'm uptown, but I hear you, girl. Let's vibe. Then I'm continuing to listen to this book and realize that her boyfriend ain't shit. He truly ain't shit. And needs to be murdered. Immediately. Immediately. So I'm out here reading this and I said, this is the type of romance that y'all are reading? Stressing you out? And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm intrigued because I want the guy who we see right here to really be a knight in shining armor. But there's so much trauma that done happened to our girl Iris that I don't even know how she gonna survive it. I don't know how I would survive it. I'm stressed out. I don't know what I need. I think I need to pause reading this book because the thing is, like, I can see how this is a good book for somebody, like if they're reading it, and I'm using good subjectively because there's a lot of trauma in this. But I think for me, I'm just triggered. Like, the writing's good, the characters is good. Even though yesterday I had to have a come to Jesus, not really Jesus, but you know, get your money due moment to with my bestie. And she was like, Bree, it's not even that bad. And you know what? She, like how I was feeling about a certain scene. And the scene didn't have trauma in it, by the way. But I'm just like sitting over here like, do I continue? Do I DNF? Do I PFN, which is pause for now? Like, what do I do, y'all? I'm reading synopsis from now on because there's too many times, not even with this book, there's too many times I've read books and it triggered the fuck out of me. And then I felt like I couldn't get into the story because I do like the idea of Iris and this dude hanging out. I think what's his name, August? I don't know. September? October, December, I don't know this man, but the dude who Iris is engaged, I'm using lightly. She needs to murder that man. See, enough of us ain't murdering folks. That's what I feel like is happening. Enough of us ain't poisoning people. So, you know, bring back the guillotine. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just so frustrated. So frustrated with this character and how abusive men are. Men. But I wish that I would have read it a bit more, right? But it's okay. This story follows this girl. Her name was Iris, and she was just trying to, you know, enjoy her sports, enjoy her love of basketball. And she meets the other main character. His name is August, and he is very like this tall, statuesque of a man, right? When you think about somebody who is like in with society standards of beauty when it comes to men and being tall in basketball, he's maybe somebody that you think about. So as the story progressed, we learned that Iris is in a relationship with this guy who is the rival to August. And as you're continuing to read the book, you're starting to notice that he is starting to do little things that end up being signs to him being abusive in nature. What I didn't explain in my TikTok is that when I was reading this book, because the girl is from New Orleans, I just want to share just like a little bit of what I've learned from my dad's side of the family. My dad's side of the family, I don't need to go into too deep, but my grandma and my dad always talked about like this spirit or this thing that can be attached to people and that you can see it through their eyes. And I remember having conversations with my dad when I was younger and now of him being like, you got to be careful of people. You have to look into their eyes and you'll see something, right? So growing up, I kind of ignored it as a teenager until I became an adult and started being in relationships, rather romantically or platonic, with people and realizing like I saw something and I chose to ignore it and then a consequence happened. And but I also want to say there are predators and there's sometimes you can't even see it. And I feel like for Iris, her cousin saw it, tried to tell her, she tried to ignore it, being like, you just saying that Creole Bayou shit. And then things went south for her. And while reading this book, I had a hard time having empathy for men, having empathy for men who make it their life work to trap a woman by getting her pregnant and cutting her off from resources. There was a bodyguard who was in this book who was really just, you know, monitoring Iris when she wasn't with her abusive partner and like reporting back to her. I think he needs to be buried underneath the jail along with her boyfriend. So what made this book hard for me to digest is that it was very triggering. It was very triggering. A lot of you guys don't know, but I haven't had like a actual committed relationship, like I'm somebody's girlfriend, right? Since 2014. And because of that, and the reasons of that is because the last relationship I got in, I saw what the book describes as a shadow. I saw it. And in an argument, a previous partner grabbed me. And I was like, do he got me fucked up? Do I got me fucked up? And I remember like I felt like my dad was in my ear when he grabbed me, being like, this is a sign. This is a sign, run. And that's what I did. I ran. I not ran, like metaphorically ran. I was like, I don't want to be in a relationship with this dude. I'm done. So I left him. And you know, it's just been that. Did he try? Yeah. Did I go back? No. You know, things like that happen. But reading this book, even though it was tense, I did love how tender August was with Iris. You can tell that like that first encounter really meant a lot to him, and even though that he knew that she was with somebody else and he didn't know her circumstances, he was still dedicated to, you know, get to know her and wanting to be with her. Sorry, I don't know why I'm not breathing. I think it's gotta take some asthma, a little bit of pump, you know? Yeah, so it's like his dedication to her was good. I rated this book a 4 out of 5 because even though it was triggering and I almost DNF at 40%, I did like the romance between August and Iris and how he was willing to take it slow and how she had to go within herself to find her strength, her inner strength to love again. I really loved that. The reason why I gave it a 4 is because it was very triggering, and I don't personally like to read graphic rape and assault on page. And I feel like if I'm giving a book a 5, I loved it. And I really liked this one. I don't think I loved it because it was really hard to love because of the stuff that was explicitly written on paper. Now, after reading this Kennedy Ryan, I was like, and then I'm looking at the thing right now and I'm seeing that long shot there's book 2, and I'm wondering if the violence is going to continue. I don't know. I want to try book 2. I might try book 2 in a few weeks. I'll let you know, but I almost quit romance. But this vlog is about Sheila, about reading different romance. So I started reading Real. Real is by Kennedy Ryan. I think this will be the last book that I talk about in this vlog. And then I'll just check in and let you guys know where I'm at. I am currently about to be on a 4-hour drive home, so I can get through a lot of Real. And then when I get home, I will let you guys know of what I'm reading. Also, the romance I have to read after that is called American Royalty by Tracy Livesay. This is just a book that I was like, I want to see what that's about. So yeah, and I had a whole bunch of other books that I wanted to read. I'm looking at like The Diviners, History Smashers. Just I have a whole bunch of books on my Libby that I want to read, but I kind of like abandoned them because I wanted to just read romance. So I'm going to read one more romance. I'm gonna cut myself off and then go back to finishing the rest of the books that I want to finish for the month of March. And then I need to figure out how I'm going to squeeze in 3 books for my Kathy Rice read along, because I want to check in. I want to do a video where I'm checking in and letting you guys know if I'm meeting my personal bookish goals every quarter. And the end of March is the end of the first quarter. So we're going to see. And I'll just come back and check in with you guys then. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Hey y'all, back with an update. I just finished this book. I'm so happy that there is a signed copy, and I am truly enjoying my new camera. I feel like the angle could be better. Maybe I can sit back a little bit more. I don't know. So, Real follows the story of this girl named Neva. Neva was born in the South. While she was living in the South with her family, she was engaged to this young man. And this young man was her world, and she thought she was his. And then one day, her sister and this young man had a secret to tell her. It really messed her up, and at the time, she already had a love for theater and being on stage. And she got a full scholarship to study at Rutgers, I think, somewhere, Rutgers University. And she went there, and she started this whole new life for herself. And while she was there, she also was not in like constant communication with her mom and with her sister. Her relationship with her mom is more complicated in the sense that her mom
has a fear that impairs her to show up for her child. Also, what I thought was really interesting about the book and the dialogue between Neva and her mother was when an argument came to a head and there was a moment of honesty between her and her mom said to her, you know, I thought, her mom said to her, I thought you didn't need anything. I thought you didn't need me. And to be honest, that part, even though it's just like a simple a comment, or can be perceived as a simple comment, really touched me because I feel that way a lot of times when I used to interact with my mom when she was alive, of her feeling like because she thought I was this person and because I had to be due to adversity, that she thought I didn't need her. I need you all the time. Like, I need you now, even in death. So it's just that assumption that that I hear a lot of times of black women thinking that their children who they view as successful, don't need them, is bonkers to me. Like, I'm like, no, your kid will always need you. I think the better question to ask yourself is, what has happened to my child that made them so hyper independent? That might be a good place to start. And then the other main character, Cannon, who lost his mom to MS when he was, I think, in his early 20s or late teens. I can't remember exactly, but he was inspired by his mother's love of film and photography and chose that route, which is why he's one of the biggest producers in Hollywood in this book. And then one day, while there was a play happening, Neva was the understudy of the lead. One day the lead was like, I have to go on vacation, you know, you're gonna have to take my spot. And she really shined, and she was beautiful, and her singing was great, her acting was great, and she really caught the eye of the other main character, Cannon. You really watch him fight for her on being the lead in his movie, because he's had other movies where things didn't go as well, and he was like, this one is for sure gonna go well. And he's telling the story about this woman named Desi Blue, who was a famous singer in like the 40s, and he's trying to bring her story to light and really shining the light on all these beautiful and talented black musicians of that time who are now forgotten. And while reading this book, what I thought was really beautiful, it's like you can show a version of being with somebody through sickness and health and still just authentically wanting to be with them, and this book was a representation of it. I don't want to say any more else about like the book, because I think I didn't spoil it and tell you everything, but I really love this book. There were some times where I think Canon was doing some FaceTime so good that I think my girl transported to another ethnicity and had to be brought back, or she transported to another dimension, if you know what I mean. A lot of finger play, a lot of sucking, things like that was in this book. So yeah, that's that on that. Anywho, I want to thank y'all for rocking with me as I read all of these different romance books. I don't even know how this vlog is going to go or when it will get edited, but I do want to say thank you for rocking with me, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and we will see each other later. Bye!